You know, it's just a little bit depressing. I've been playing this game for what, 13 hours thereabouts now, and I still don't have a single achievement. I've achieved nothing, and then that just a nice summary for life in general. I've just noticed I've got a level up, going to spend that real quick. I'm thinking maybe we spend another one. Where is it? Where is it? Here. I think we spend another one here, right? So we can absorb more of this shit, because these tend to give us some pretty... These give me -1s. Maybe they don't give me good things. That gives me a -1 logic. I didn't realise these were crippling me this hard. I just kind of assumed they were all good and was just equipping them. These first three were all good. These first three were all solid as fuck. And I kind of want to keep this one because socialism's fun, but... And this one's pretty fun as well. I guess it does increase my learning caps for several things, even if it does -1 my logic. We do actually have... I was about to say we've got all of them equipped. There's 3 more right here. It's kind of hard to tell the difference between the ones that are available and the ones that aren't. The colour isn't drastically different. Wasteland of Reality. Definitely don't want another -1 to my logic. Maybe we'll get Wasteland of Reality for this slot. Fuck it. I've just said they're not necessarily all that good, but it's something to do, innit? Right, as we were, anyway. I believe our next port of call is the bookshop. We're actually going to do something, you know, relevant in the bookshop, which is nice. Good thing we established that place as being a place earlier in our previous explorations. So we can go pick up a map. I don't believe they said they sell maps. I don't believe that was a thing, was it? What does it say they sell? Crime, romance, biographies of famous people. Yeah, none of those are maps. Do you sell maps?
Every snowflake is like a little gift from the sky.
What a terrifying, creepy child. I'll see you around. Imagine if you walked up to a kid and they were like, every snowflake is a gift from the sky.
Hello again, esteemed officer, and welcome to Crime, Romance, and Biographies of Famous People.
Still no, what if I want to buy a book?
Goodness, you were already doing good, browsing the shelves. Why'd you stop? Don't you feel compelled? Go, go, get back there. The books await you.
What type of books do you have?
Everything is on the shelves. Take a look yourself. The shelves compel you, don't they?
Wow, you are really against making a sale, aren't you? It seems like she's struggling for sales as she uses all this, like, voodoo and shit, but then...
She smiles and...
But then, instead of helping customers, she's just like, just go fucking look for yourself. Book collects the national recipes of Arda. They're all about lake trout. Old sports magazines tucked away in a dark corner. Well, hang on. This looks like it might be like brochures and
the
shit.
display rack is brimming with worn paperbacks featuring an extremely muscular, sword-wielding barbarian on the cover. Nearly all the titles contain the word Heimdall somewhere.
Wow, more Heimdall.
Mountains of it. Heroic quantities of Heimdall. Roy's puny shirt is nothing compared to the real deal.
I'm leaving. This gift books and molten candy. Molten candy? Why is it molten?
A small mountain of colorful board game boxes. There are numerous types of games for all ages. A lot of shelf space seems to be taken up by Wirral-related merchandise.
Not super interested in board games right now. I mean, Real Life Joe is all about the board games, but I don't think it's something we're going to need in game right this second. Looks like Guillaume Le Million, that hair poster. What, this one? Am I seeing that through the wall? Whatever.
These shelves are overburdened with books from the same series. You see the name Dick Mullen over and over. You'll
be mulling this dick in a... I'm sorry.
A couple of spook novels hide amidst all the detective books. Thrilling tales of spycraft and daring do.
Nothing of the map variety then, unfortunately. Okay, what's up here? A quaint picture book brochure, very colourful. It's a tome of fascist magic, rather candid. I want the tome of fascist magic. Where's my tome of fascist magic?
Shelves full of biographies of famous people, whoever they are.
Well, this town isn't a famous person, so it probably doesn't have a biography here. Oh, that looks like a map. The map.
Several maps have been attached to a bulletin board hidden inside the alcove. They're held up by small pins. The board has come loose from one corner. The maps look old and faded. Your eye catches a map of Insulinda, a map of Revachol, and a map of Martinez.
Map of Martinez. This could work, maybe.
Maybe not. I think we can afford the 90 mini real. The big currency's real. I don't know what the little ones are called. Coins. The 90 coins. Buy it.
Always good to be informed of your surroundings.
That's it. I got what I came for. What's this one though, quickly?
This bookstore is not strictly about crime, romance, and biographies of famous people. There's also a wide range of paranatural literature.
Storky, what books are these?
Sir, please, no browsing in that shelf. That wisdom is not for free. I can't have you end up, like, opening a police store next door and stealing my customers. Oh no!
I'm gonna look through the shelf.
Amidst the various books, you find one written by someone named Matthias W. Dundas. It's about wholeness, unity, balance. These three things are very important to the working class mind. The point of the book, and many others on this shelf, is to give people medicinal advice in situations where they don't have access to paid health services.
How does that work?
It serves platitudes, while also telling everyone that traditional medicine, the kind people don't have access to, and which costs more than this book, is garbage, and would only give you cancer anyway, without even curing your cold or anything.
Wow. So this is the anti-vaxxer Bible, is it?
Wholeness, unity, balance, on the other hand, can basically take care of anything. Though it is important to note, when it's up to your mind to heal yourself, then it's because of your mind that you're ill in the first place.
Uh-huh, interesting.
Various paranatural books still litter the shelf.
I'll be leaving now. To be fair, this woman does have big anti-vaxxer vibes, so I sort of understand. What was that? What was that? What just happened there? Everyone knows the most interesting thing about fascists was their magic. See, he's interested in the magic fascist book as well. I want that. I would read that in real life. That sounds fucking hilarious. I guess we got the map though, so that's what we were here for. Let us be on our merry way, shall we? Look at that, it's 12:34. It's a very distinctive number. I do have a habit of looking over at the clock whenever it's like a weird number like that, like, you know, 2:22 or whatever. I think most people do. I don't think it's specific to me. It sort of catches your eye, so you feel drawn to it. Where was I going? Oh yeah, up here. Okay, so can we re-up this whole
The same two neon-lit shapes, a man and a woman. A ray of backward motion explodes from the man's mouth, through the window to the roof outside, widening into a radius. A prime.
have the map. Extrapolate the radius to include all of Martinez.
According to your map of the district, this shot could have come from a wide angle of locations, starting with the northern edge of the abandoned boardwalk, ending with an islet in the bay. Let's call them B prime.
Interesting. So none of them are actually here. They're all beyond. They're all in regions we've not been to yet. I thought maybe it would just be someone like a building over, but I mean, I guess. More precisely?
B prime for Boardwalk, B double prime for Land's End, and B triple prime for the Islet Detective. There may be smaller points in between, but those are too fine to zoom in on.
Have a look at B prime, the boardwalk.
700 meters away. The likeliest of these B positions, 20% chance. A skilled sniper could have made the shot, provided he had a safe sniper's nest. Even with the light on inside, we're talking military training. At that distance, the perpetrator would have had to take wind direction into account.
Military training, you say? You know, like the suspect I mentioned at the end of the last video. How interesting. Anyway, B double prime, Land's End.
1.2 kilometers away. The least likely of these positions. Let's say 3%. A truly skilled sniper could have done it. Possibly from a tent. No, too far-fetched.
Yeah, seems unlikely. How about B triple prime, the Islet? Islet.
1 kilometer away.
What?
An unlikely point of origin. Beyond the docks somewhere. On an islet in the Bay of Martinez, perhaps. There are islets there, badly charted as they may be.
How is that 1 kilometer away and that's only 700 meters away? I'm no maths genius, but hold up a second. Continue.
The shot would have been a small miracle. 5% likelihood. There is an extremely narrow field of view from the bay to the window, between Rue de Saint-Ghislain 10 and 33A. The angle would have been extreme, and access to the islets is questionable.
And there's no way they could have just been on the roof of one of these buildings, like just over here, and just shot through there. No, the angle isn't right for that. Interesting, okay. Kim, do you think the shot could have come from further than the roof in Martinez?
From where, precisely?
Let's say B prime, the boardwalk, B double prime, Land's End, and B triple prime, the islet.
I see you have given this a lot of thought. Are those the locations you've singled out in addition to the roof? And what is the likelihood, in your opinion, that it came from a further distance?
Much less than the roof, but still.
Okay, well, we should see if there is gunshot residue or sniper nests if we go down the coast. Rule these spots out one by one. It would be the diligent thing to do. Until then, personally, I'm going with the roof version. A simple hypothesis can be wrong, but it's something to build on.
And the ghostly figures?
The man does not know the bullet has entered his brain. He never will. Death comes faster than the realization.
Not a bad way to go, really. Like, the guy was fucking and he died instantly. Like, all things considered, could be a lot worse. I'll leave. So, we feel like there should be gunshot residue out here if it came from the roof, right? Which, it certainly doesn't seem like there is. But that could easily have been cleaned up or blown away or whatever. Like,
I was just thinking.
nope. Don't care what you were thinking. Got places to be. Just wanted to see if there was a new option for like, hey, have you seen any gunshot residue around here? I suppose where you've been out here smoking, you've looked down and gone, hey, look, there's some gunshot residue. I don't even know what gunshot residue looks like. I've never fired a gun. Never even seen a proper gun in real life. I'm a Brit. We don't fuck with that shit. There was more to get from Titus, right? Following our last conversation with
It's
Glacier.
you again. What is it?
Okay, I talked to Glacier. Now I need to talk to Ruby.
Why?
I don't think she killed the victim. A civil war is brewing, and the only way to prevent it is to solve the murder. That means talking to Ruby.
Sounds like you want to push this steaming pile of shit on anyone. And now you pick Ruby. Well, not on my watch you won't. Ruby's one of us. We're not gonna throw her under your moral intern steamroller. Fuck that shit.
And fuck you too, moral
He throws a glance at Titus as the last syllable leaves his lips. The big guy sighs. Titus isn't a fan of that word, eh? Interesting.
Ruby is missing. If you hide from the police in a murder investigation, you become a suspect. You know how it works, guys.
That's nothing. That's just legalese. You don't even have a sound theory. I don't want to be rude, but we're trying to get some R&R here. Think you could fuck off now?
I think we'll keep sticking around, Titus. You'll be surprised at how quickly a theory presents itself if you keep looking.
From the corner of your eye, you see a little bird fly into the bush, right behind the window, behind Titus's back.
Even with +3 to that, we're still fucking struggling. It's that -1 logic we've got. It's unfortunate. Why are these all options we've already had? Let's scan the room.
Starting from the right.
Oh yeah, it's
sitting
just
across,
looking at these
and
lads
then
again. Okay.
in
I don't know why
the
that was a
far
thing.
corner, standard size in the in conclusion, these 7 are the actors on the crime scene. The footprints were theirs, but there's a discrepancy.
Ruby's missing, obviously.
Exactly. But none of this is news to you. You've stood there for about 4 seconds, not saying anything. Time to move on.
Well, I'm gonna take off now. I'll see you later, Titus. With your incredibly slow walk to and from that table. Alright, mate, don't rush yourself. So we want to investigate these other crime scenes, but we've got a problem with that, in that we can't... Unless I'm being an absolute fuckwit, and this whole time there's been a bunch of... What up? What is that? The spirited chirps and clicks of swallows fill the air. Don't care. Yeah, unless I'm being an absolute idiot and there is a way to get further around the bay. Certainly, we need this bridge down, don't we? This is the problem. And how do we get that bridge down? We need to fix this. Hey.
Good day to you, officers.
Good eye.
A couple of indicator lights are missing from this control panel. Loose wires dangle from the now vacant holes. In the middle is a lever. Beneath it, a small metal plaque. This panel usually closes the waterlock, turning it into a bridge that lets you cross the canal. But there's a crashed salmon and butter sign in the way. Pulling the lever probably won't do anything.
Pull the lever.
You pull the lever all the way up until the metal clicks against the contact pins. You hear a soft clunk. Then, nothing happens.
Push it harder.
Nothing happens. A cold gust of wind blowing in from the sea interrupts the silence of the situation.
Push it harder.
Nothing happens. A cold...
Release the lever.
A spring brings the lever back to its original position. You still need to close the waterlock to get across the canal. Some other way. Wasn't there a sign over there saying functionality will be restored on Wednesday morning?
Wednesday morning. Wednesday morning. Is it Tuesday today? How do I know what day it is today? I can't remember. I'm not the smartest, honestly. Yeah. It's Tuesday today. Okay, so we have to come back here tomorrow, which means we can't investigate this murder further until tomorrow. Which puts us in a bit of a predicament, really, because there's not really a great deal many threads we can follow at the moment. We can't speak to the smoker on the balcony until tonight. I guess we could return to Everard, maybe, see what else he's got for us. See, I've got a mission to create that theory for Titus, but I only have 3% chance of doing that, so it doesn't seem too likely right now, does it? Doesn't seem too likely. I've had a thought, and this might be a stretch, but we do happen to know someone with a boat, so maybe there is another way of getting to where we need to be, if she's willing to cooperate. Yo.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with?
You're on a boat.
Why, yes I am.
And, not a lot of people on boats, are there?
Of course there are. We're on an archipelago. How else are you supposed to get around?
Wait, we're on an archipelago?
Yes, we are. We are on Le Caillou.
Still, I haven't seen anyone else sail a boat around here.
I haven't seen anyone else drive a souped-up Capri Kenema motor carriage either.
Actually, that motor carriage has been specially issued to serve as a patrol and pursuit vehicle. It's for crossing long distances in the greater Revachol industrial harbor. It's not a toy.
Neither is this. A toy, I mean. It's a machine for crossing long distances in the Bay of Revachol, between the city and the islands.
You need to make this lady admit she's only riding around on this boat because she's rich.
Why?
Why what? Stop thinking. Take her down.
Actually, yeah, I need to nail her for this.
Before you do, it might be pertinent to ask a few more questions. Learn whatever you can about this boat of hers.
Does she have a name?
The boat? No. It is called Cordelati 19 because that's the type of sloop it is.
The word "it" feels strange. Such a beautiful boat deserves a proper name.
Cool, but your boat really needs a name.
Okay. How about Cordelati 19? Why?
She taps on the side of the boat and it makes a hollow sound.
Because it was manufactured in Revachol East by a company called Cordelati, and its hull is 19 paces long.
She makes a point of being unromantic about it.
How about Dolores?
Why Dolores?
I don't know. Feels pretty.
Well, it means nothing to me. I think I'll stick with the factory name. But thank you for the suggestion.
Okay, well, what kind of boat is it?
It's a pleasure craft. A 19-pacer. It also happens to be rated for Category 1 racing. Though these days I mainly use it for business.
How do you like it?
My sloop? I like it a lot. It's the eel's hips, baby.
What a weird thing to say.
I'm enjoying this part of the interview. It has so little to do with the murder we're investigating.
Fucking hell, Kim. Nothing has to do with the murder we're investigating unless we can find Ruby, so why the fuck can't we just have some small talk for a bit, yeah?
I really do, the lieutenant thinks. Is she thrown off yet? He's looking at the woman, assessing her.
Do you have a license for this boat?
Officer, I assure you I'm a highly qualified pleasure craft operator.
The crowns of her teeth are porcelain, white as the boat's hull as she smiles. Her nonchalance might be related to something called the Wayfarer Act, a law that says she doesn't need a license. Sly Fox, you're not aggressive enough to harass her further on this.
Then let's talk about the economics of this boat you're on.
Oh my, the E word. You mean to say that it's a symbol of conspicuous consumption? That I'm a member of the ruling class?
No, it's a symbol of our subjugation to foreign capital. The bad kind of capital.
Detective, may I remind you that Mrs. Messier is a professional negotiator.
He doesn't look like he thinks you'll best her in single combat.
Then what does that say? Does it say docking reserved for residents of Rue de Saint-Ghislain, 33A? 33A? This old proletarian haunt here? As I said, plenty of people drive boats, of all social strata.
Fire back, quick.
Your synapses flesh.
Well, this house was built before the revolution.
Okay, it is anti-centennial.
She looks at the building looming overhead. The people who live here now lead a different lifestyle, if you know what I mean.
I assure you, they drove quite a hard bargain for this space. But you're right. I am a bourgeois woman, and this is my fast, lightweight, interminably bourgeois boat.
I think I have a handle on this boat thing now.
Good.
And there's no chance we could get a lift. Okay. Fair enough, I suppose. Well, that was my roll of the dice. Who else can we talk to? I know there's someone we've not spoken to recently, and as much as I hate to admit it, might be worth taking another swing at it, you know?
Trying to sneak up on me again!
Okay, you still have nothing to say, but I bet the other lad does. We were supposed to be getting the Hardy Boys' help to take that big old corpse down, and that wasn't really ever an option. So unless they meant different dock workers, I guess we could go back to Everard about it. Is it Everard or Everart? I don't know if it's a silent T or not.
Fuck, does Kuno care?
Okay.
Kuno doesn't.
I know Kuno doesn't care. You're very clever, Kuno. I don't know how the world will keep on turning without your incredible input. Right. Yeah, I think we've returned to Everard. I can't really think of any better options right now. I guess we can have another chat with this lad. He wants absolutely nothing to do with us. Possibly because he is now a murder suspect. Yeah.
Hola, wandering man. How can I help you?
Do you know anything about the Hardy Boys?
Los Ardis? They're an independent militant group. A bit too high-strung, but it comes with the responsibility. They're sort of like you. Preserve the rule of law and all that. Except it's Everard's law. But really, they're just like you.
Okay. Good talking to you. Gotta run. You got fucking nothing, have you? Absolutely nothing for me. We can still get through here then. What's this? Why didn't we interact with this when we were last here? Someone left the coffee machine on. The dark liquid in the pot looks almost sentient. Can I not have coffee? You know, when I moved into my new house, a bit of a sidetrack here, but when I moved into my new house, there was a coffee machine left behind. There's a few bits and pieces left behind, and one of them was a coffee machine. I've never owned a coffee machine in my life. I've always just boiled a kettle and added instant coffee to it. I've got a cafetiere. That's my one concession to nicer coffee, but I don't have a proper coffee machine, and now I do, and I don't know how to use it, and I'm kind of afraid of it, and it's got no instructions and lots of buttons on it. But one day I'm going to pluck up the courage to make myself a decent cup of coffee with that bad boy, and it'll be a hell of a day. Or it will turn out to be broken, one of the two. It'll be a fun time finding out, though. Right. Hey, you still chatting? I kind of forgot you existed, honestly.
Oh, hey, mister. I knew you'd be back to talk with old Leo here. Yes, I did. It's like Lady Larice said when she opened a bathhouse in the basement of my apartment building. They can only get so far before they're aching to get back. And lots of folk really did keep coming back.
I had some questions for you, if it's not too much trouble.
No trouble at all, mister. No trouble at all. It's like that old saying goes, wisdom withers if not shared. And old Leo is always up for sharing.
What are you doing with the containers?
Oh, I'm just making some covers for them containers here. Yes, I am. So it's easier for the crane operators to spot them.
He waves at the containers towering behind him. What's going on here?
The containers in the yard are green in Wild Pine's livery, and the mountains rising behind Leo is all red in Union colors.
I've noticed.
It's like some red infection was spreading outwards from the container yard's core. There appear to be cisterns underneath the Union container covers.
This looks like a massive redecorating operation, Ken.
Yes, they are hiding it from the inside. All the red containers have the Debarders Union logo on them.
Leo, has anyone told you why you need to change the covers?
No, not really. Miss Everett doesn't tell me all the big things. Says I go and tell them to everyone.
I've noticed. What's underneath the red covers?
Oh, I don't know, mister. They say it's some chemicals. Most of them have labels on them, I think.
Thanks, Leo. You've been very helpful.
No trouble at all, mister. No trouble at all.
Interesting. Interesting indeed. Some chemicals being appropriated by the Union. Alright, Everard, I have returned.
Mr. Dubois, I hear the meeting with Titus was a glowing success. That's such a relief. Titus can be a handful sometimes.
Glowing success is a strong point, but we'll go with that, yeah.
Now, what can Everard Clare do for you today?
Could you help me get a dead body down from a tree?
You might have noticed there's one hanging on a tree behind the hostel cafeteria.
Oh my. Don't take this question personally, but why would I get involved in this matter?
Mr. Clare, the man was hanged with a cargo belt. A steel-reinforced cargo belt. It's safe to assume the Union had something to do with the murder. Besides, getting the body down would benefit all of us. It's a stain on the neighborhood.
You're a community leader. Help your community out.
I can certainly see how having him up there might start affecting some real estate values.
He licks his fat lips and smiles.
But of course, all joking aside, I am going to help you.
He picks up the handset of a radio phone to his right and clicks a button.
Jean-Luc, my boy, I'm sending 2 police officers down. They have a dead body in a tree problem they need help with. Namely, they need it to be taken down. And, Jean, please take it easy with the race signs. He's had enough of that.
He hangs up and turns back to you. Jean-Luc, we've got a name for the big man, eh?
You can find Jean-Luc down at the gates, but you already knew that. Anyway, he's going to help you.
I'm looking into your shady brew.
I don't know what that means, Harry. Shady brew? There are so many moving parts in my operation, I can't keep track of them all. You know what? Don't even tell me. Whatever it is, do it. Surprise me. Just one thing. If you can, make it even shadier.
He sincerely has no idea what you were talking about. And he doesn't care either.
I barely have any idea what I'm talking about. I know it's something they were cooking up in the kitchen of Whirling in Rags, but we don't really know why or how that relates to Everard. I just thought I'd press the button for fun, honestly. It does sound like there's probably more we can do with the murder details. Fuck it, let's go for it.
Most certainly, Harry. Nothing brightens my day like brainstorming these things with you. By all means, Harry.
Honestly, no. Nothing much to be gained there by the looks of it. Still, we're going to get the body out the tree. With the help of, not our favourite person, honestly. The giant scary racist. What was his name? It was, I know it's Jean-Luc is his real name, but he had like a really dumb nickname, didn't he? A really dumb nickname of sorts. Valsund means whale fjord in Arden. Okay, that's nice. I assume that's written somewhere and I just haven't spotted it because of my poor eyesight. I assume. Maybe. Let's have a word with Lukey boy, eh? See what he's got for us. The power to pull a body out of a tree, hopefully, with his pure brute strength. Hello.
The unpromising race pupil returns.
Everard told you to help us get the body down from the tree.
So it was. My unpromising race pupil entered the harbor and used my superior to give me orders. I salute your cunning and will remove the body from the tree with my bare hands.
I'd like to see that.
You're so noble, Measurehead.
There's a but. But while I am gone, someone must stand guard on the bridge. That someone needs to be you. Both
Lieutenant?
of you.
Lieutenant, what if we don't want to do that?
This is the uncomfortable result of not taking it on ourselves. I can live with a compromise.
Listen to your little friend. He is wise in his childlike way. His mysterious race may yet prove fierce competition to my heroic haplogroup.
Wow, that's quite a concession from old Measurehead, eh? Okay then.
Babe, see that they stay here the whole time.
Is this just because they didn't want to animate Measurehead taking the body down from the tree?
The woman's gaze follows Measurehead as he leaves.
Could be an interesting opportunity to have a little chat with her, though, eh?
So, you guys are like cops or something?
Apparently so.
Cool. I like men with guns and power. I'm Katya, by the way.
Yeah, about that gun thing.
You hear that? That sound. He's breaking something.
We can hear that from here? What the fuck?
Yeah, Jean-Luc must be really tearing it up over there. I wish I could see it.
I also wish I could see it.
Look at you! RCM rent-a-cops! Guarding that bridge like Evrod's lapdogs! Is this where it's at now? The RCM is for sale!
I should have seen this coming in.
Spoken by a mercenary, pretending to be a worker.
Yes, I am an unbelievably corrupt cop. I am corrupt every opportunity I get.
A shrill laughter interrupts you, echoing across Martinez. It's Kuno. Then,
The tree falls on him. Kuno dies.
the man turns to look behind him at the behemoth appearing around the corner, approaching him, walking past him.
Hold on.
The corpse has been removed from the tree. Stand down and congratulate yourself. You have sided with Ray's victory today.
Thank you for your cooperation, Measurehead.
Farewell, ham sandwich. You are a Union man from now on.
Why are you not with the Hardy Boys?
I am not the first line of defense. I am the last. In addition, these so-called Hardy Boys are an effeminate clique of bodybuilders. Their company is spiritually degrading.
And this guy's not a bodybuilder, he just sort of magically spawned those muscles. But you're all part of the Union.
The Hardy manlets are on the pay of the company. I answer to the Union alone. And I do this out of race heroism. Finance is an alien concept to the Simonies.
Wait, so he's not getting paid?
Now leave me be. I must luxuriate in the company of my woman.
I don't know why you keep saying woman as if there's only one of them when there's quite clearly three of them, but alright. I'll leave you be. You luxuriate in the company of your woman. Fucking. Should be down from the tree now, though. Maybe we, I keep talking to this guy and he keeps having nothing more to say to me, but I'm curious.
Right to work!
Okay, right to work indeed. I'll be off now. I know there's one option. I really feel like I'm meant to exhaust every option with everyone I speak to. And I'm doing it wrong by not. But some of the things just seem like so unnecessary to say. Haha, you got nothing to throw rocks at anymore. Just squat and point your finger.
The corpse lies on the ground among the remains of an absolutely demolished pinewood branch. It's gently laid on one side.
Beautiful.
Mr. Measurehead has done a good job. Nothing is too broken or compromised. The victim is ready for a field autopsy.
A field autopsy?
Yes. 1. Investigation of the scene. 2. Initial examination of the victim. 3. Field autopsy. 4. Transportation of the body to the morgue. We are on number 3.
Cool, we're getting there.
The RCM's 4-phase murder scene processing manual.
The fuck are they on about?
Cop's gonna cut his shit up!
Don't we have someone else to cut his shit open?
It's not about cutting. And no, you and I are detectives. The honorary rank of detective signifies our ability to handle the entire incident chain, from autopsy to cleanup to social work.
Wait, honorary rank of detective?
An honor and a burden attached to your rank once you've proven yourself able, usually after 5 to 8 years of field work. Mine is Lieutenant Detective.
Yeah, I feel like a detective.
You are. Your station would not have assigned you on this case if you weren't. Now...
The lieutenant adjusts his glasses and takes a deep breath.
Interesting. First, what exactly is a field
Come on,
autopsy?
officer. You know what a field autopsy is. You've done 100 of them.
What you do know is, at 18.9 kilometers, the dormant shield volcano, Corpus Mundi, is the world's highest summit, and the failure of the 38 single, Et puis descend, to crack the top 20 was the death knell of disco. But what a field autopsy is, you have no idea.
Let's get in there.
There truly is a time for everything, even for yellow gardening gloves. However, they are lacking hygienically. I suggest you get in there in limited capacity.
Alright.
I'll ask you when I need you to. For the most part, maybe I should handle the contact and you take notes?
We just fill this in, right?
That's right.
I'll open my ledger at the field autopsy form.
The dead man stares in silence as you crack open the ledger. The bright red paper is covered in boxes and lists, describing the condition of his skin and organs in 3 parts. Above those, an 11-field info form needs filling out first. It begins with...
Number 1, assistant.
That's you.
I feel like I know my name is Harry Dubois now, but okay. I'll write Raphael. No, I'll leave it empty.
The corpse lies there, indifferent to your retrograde amnesia. The next box says...
Number 2, coroner's case number.
KK57-0803.0815.
Don't know where he pulled that number from, but I'll write it
Next.
down. Name.
We've heard the nom de guerre. Lely. It's better than nothing. Write it down.
Right, Laley.
What's next? Date of birth?
Date of birth.
NA.
Age.
Roughly 50.
Dry 40. The damage is so extensive, it's better to err on the young side.
I'm gonna write roughly 42.
He nods.
Number 6, race.
Mondial.
Fair to olive-skinned, from the Isola of Mundi. This is as vague as it gets. You might as well say whitish.
I'll write it down.
The pudgy mess of curdled meat looks neither mondial nor anything other.
Number 7, sex.
Fucky, fucky!
The little monster exclaims energetically.
Male.
Pigs can have sex?
I'm gonna write male.
Nor does he look male, with his pregnant belly and indistinguishable face.
Number 8, date of death.
We're still going with March 4th. 51.
04, 03, 51. Hey, that's British. That's the British way of writing this. Where was this game made? I genuinely don't know. I assumed it was American, like all games, but it'll be the other way around in that case, right? It'll be 03, whatever, it doesn't matter that much.
What else? 9. Body identified by is non-applicable. 10. Case number is the same as the coroner's case.
I suppose there are a lot of British voices in this game, so I guess it would make sense.
KK57 0503 0815 listens, motionless, with the cargo belt still around his neck. Only one box remains.
Nope, that was meant to be a dot. That was meant to be a dot, not a hyphen. It's wrong. Evidence of treatment.
I'm not seeing anything yet, but we know there's tampering here. Write down, yes, non-visual, corroborated by witness. See report.
I will do that.
Good.
Let's use that pause. I had to do a silent as possible burp. Tastes like breakfast cereal. Wasn't bad. The lieutenant falls silent. He places a gloved hand on the corpse's chest as if in preparation.
Your central nervous system recognizes this gesture. It's the stations of the breath. Ecclesiastic, religious in nature, a holdout from pre-DeLorean burial rites. It takes him 2 seconds to perform. Then, somewhere in Jamrock North, a small wood shed behind Rosencrantz Row, Lieutenant Nick Feuerbach puts his hand to the chest of a small corpse, no larger than a monkey. It's raining outside, light drizzle. There is darkness in the shed.
What the fuck?
Elsewhere yet, an obese female sits in a wicker chair, her silhouette bull-like against the window. Outside, Grand Coudon. The day is turning dim for Sergeant Mac Dawson. Hand extended, he approaches, to make sure she is dead more than anything else. And so, all across Jamrock, Coal City, GRIH, 42 deceased persons found today, 42 stations of breath.
We should start the post-mortem.
What was that? Excuse me, why did we just... Is this like a memory? Whatever, I guess we'll just try and remember it happened. Turn the page.
The corpse cannot feel Kim's hand on his chest. It no longer meaningfully interacts with its surroundings. A thicket of boxes and lists on red copier paper tries to answer why.
External examination. Summary.
Clothes. The deceased wears armored boots and white briefs. The make of the briefs is Babrodine, I think. Let's see.
He turns the body onto its side to check the underwear label.
See, it's happening.
Babrodine, yes. Inexpensive. Size M. Color white.
The disappointment is palpable. The red-haired thing was expecting something more lurid.
Write it down.
The boots are ceramic, vitreous enamel. They are fused to his skin from blood flowing downward post-mortem. Removal of the boots is left for processing.
Write it down.
Tattoos.
He stands up, feet planted on either side of the body.
The upper torso is covered in a single tattoo, beginning on the right shoulder and reaching around the heart. The shape is abstract. The ink is blue and white. Well-nourished, athletically built, measuring 1.8 meters. Generally consistent with age 42. Preservation is good. Ambient temperature below freezing.
Write it down.
Body hair is light brown. Distribution is consistent with age. The deceased had male pattern baldness. Hair is combed back, short.
Touch the corpse's hair before moving on.
The hair under your latex fingers feels cold to touch, wet.
Okay, that's a bit creepy. Let's not do that. Write it down. Short, light brown, male pattern baldness.
Lividity appears consistent with hanging, but is not. The head is congested. Contusions are present on the head and chest, consistent with stones thrown post-mortem. Low velocity.
Fucking low velocity? You think Kuno doesn't know what you're talking about? Velocity was fucking max. Talking shit about Kuno's velocity.
In addition, there are bite marks on the face, scalp, and chest, consistent with predation.
Write down.
Ligature mark.
The lieutenant produces a small folding knife. With the other hand pulling on the belt, he starts cutting into the polyester. The stench is horrid. After a while, it's obvious the material cannot be cut.
The steel wiring. There's too much of it. We need to remove the belt so we can get to the ligature mark.
You got just the right tool for that. The chain cutters.
Oh yeah, I'm prepared.
The hanged man lets out a joyous little bubble of rot from his nose.
Good thing we got these chain cutters.
Always good to think ahead. Now...
He points to the rope squeezing the dead man's neck.
We need to cut the belt to see the ligature mark below. Carefully, with as much precision as you can.
Uh-oh.
See, my pig is gonna fuck his head off.
No, he ain't. Your pig's a boring fuck.
I'm not your pig, Kuno.
You are? You're Kuno's pig?
Look for a good spot to cut.
The belt is equally tight around the whole circumference of his neck, swelling over the edges like white bread rising from the east. The knot is the weak spot. The chain cutters fit in there, steady now, like a flower arranger. 2 cuts and it should come loose.
Oof. Oof. Alright.
You jam the cutters right under the knot. That seems like a smart idea. Yeah, Somewhere there. Already they're buried deep in the man's flesh. Then you rotate them to get a better hold. Then...
rotate some more.
A really, really bad smell is coming from there now. And some kind of cracking sound.
Enough, cut some.
Yeah, fuck him! Fuck that faggoty! Corpse fucking time!
Told you my pig was hardcore.
I should have a go first. I think I have a strategy.
He steps in and takes the chain cutters from you. Sure, I'll let him work.
He sinks the cutters into the knot, preparing to perform the cuts, with his elbow to his knee for precision. Snap. The knot is slashed. Another cut and the belt falls apart like a flower bouquet, revealing the dead man's neck and the dark red ligature mark around it.
Here.
He hands you the chain cutters back and then kneels closer to the body, running his finger along the dark red groove, till he comes to a gap.
The rope rises to a point, leaving a gap in the ligature mark. The suspension point is in the back of the neck, on the nape. Hemorrhaging is observed on the skin, above and below the ligature mark. The mark is well pronounced, consistent with a drop from 1 or 1.5 meters.
Well done. Sounds like it would throw us off if we didn't know.
That he was dead. Yes. They moved fast. This is a good treatment.
Write it down.
Chest is intact. Normal contour. Abdomen is protuberant. Pelvis intact. Genitalia...
Uh-oh, he pulls down the man's underpants.
No! Let's get out and see!
I fucking knew it!
Genitalia is male and unremarkable. No evidence of injury.
Write it down and move on.
Back is symmetrical and intact. Upper and lower extremities are intact, but asymmetrical. There are combat injuries on the right hand, thigh, and hip. In addition, I see smaller, residual scars, too numerous to count, covering about 30% of his skin.
That's a lot of his skin.
From wounds sustained over 2, maybe more decades, dispersal and accumulation indicates long and active combat duty.
The scarring is extensive, way more than the law officials.
Mm-hmm. We have a real museum here. Of battles, wars.
Write it down.
Last item. Hands.
He takes the man's right hand in his, inspects it, then moves to the other hand. I'll pick up the hand.
The hand feels heavy, filled with decay liquids, like it's ready to explode if squeezed hard enough. You're suddenly repulsed, so much so you feel compelled to drop it.
Hands are clean. No sign of injury from struggling.
Were we expecting any?
Not particularly. Him being dead when they carried him over.
Mm-hmm.
It is very hard to struggle when you're dead. Death is the end of struggle.
Write it down.
Ooh. That's all for the external. Well done. What next?
Next is we realise how long we've been recording and we have to take a break here. So we're going to wrap up. We'll do points 2 and 3 next time. And I'll see you for that. Bye.